here with the orange. That was Alexis Sanchez who's riding, and he's still not carrying a whip. He has to ride 5 races. But what an effort by that horse, and that horse is still a maiden. So, I mean...
That might have been his first ride ever.
Yeah, it was his first ride ever, yeah. It was his first ride ever, and he didn't carry a whip, and no whip today. Another horse that was interesting on the far outside here, Alexis's father, Ramiro Castillo, is riding Katie on Fire, and she came with a big rally. So that's just one trial. So let's look at the second trial. And the second trial is where my horse that I picked in this race comes from, and that'll be Sour Candy, who won the second trial and is a horse that has never been beaten, an Ontario bred for the Winsakabi family, Tony Phillips and Michelle Woodley.
Okay, let's move on to the next replay we want to see, which would be, of course, race 4 of the day. There we go.
Okay, so Sour Candy's on the outside here, and along the inside is Damn I'm Relentless, who's new to the circuit. This is one of the horses for Mark Rioux, and he was making his first start at Ajax Downs, led all the way and just got pipped right on the wire there. Ismail Mascara was riding that day, but really an excellent effort in his first start. But Sour Candy, 3 for 3 in his lifetime, Nick. Now, you like the horse. Now, right behind Sour Candy, just on the far outside here, is the filly Valiant Chicken Snow. Took her a little bit of time to get going, but she finished really well.
She did.
She was the champion, or the top 2-year-old filly of last season. So this is just showing you that the 2 trials were very well matched, and the final is a humdinger.
Except for that horse that's dead last in this race.
Well, that's had to be Ivy, and she's not in the final, so.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, look at Sour Candy. Looks like he just loves to win, knows what to do. So look at the...
Oh, we're all... Well, you know what? We should be all over the place because this is a real tough race. I mean, the 9 horse, I still like the 9 horse in here. This horse was claimed down at Remington Park for $20,000, and as you pointed out...
Ran great.
She ran great
yeah.
First time over the track. And usually horses need a race over the surface here
yeah.
at Ajax
yeah.
before they get better and better and better. And so I thought she did a great job back on opening day here. But again, a very, very tough race, and a race that, again, I'll say it one more time.
Did you push the all button on your pick 4?
No, I didn't, because
What?
it got a little too expensive.
Oh.
And I ended up spending $32 for a $1 ticket, and I took a 2x2x2x4. I did go 4 deep in the last race, obviously, but
right.
I know maybe I should have, but I didn't, because I really couldn't key earlier. If I could have had one key and maybe Maryland Magic would have been my key, but I used Blue Eyed Merlin because for a couple of reasons. I think the horses coming out of the James Bogart barn have been running and looking very, very good this year.
Oh, yes, they have. No question.
This horse was very impressive first time out this year. I know he's not in the same league as Maryland Magic, but Maryland Magic is a 9-year-old. And, he's got to get slower. I mean, he's got to get slower one of these days.
I get slower. Just as a note, Jose Cruz looking for his first victory at Ajax Downs here, so that would be pretty exciting for him.
Yeah, and again...
First victory as a jockey, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Benitez is not riding this horse, Diego, but he's not, so that's all that matters. And speaking of aging, we watched LeBron James, 38 years old, 41 points. I know I'm a sports guy, but me and my man, we bet Denver Nuggets to win it all, so hopefully we'll get the job done. That's the card for today. May the 24th, we're going to take it upstairs to the voice of Canadian quarter horse racing, Frank Ferrari, for the changes on the card.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to all the people live in attendance and for all the people streaming across the globe. This afternoon's card has 6 races for you, with the on-track feature going in the 6th and final race of the afternoon. It's the first running of the QROOI Open Derby for 3-year-olds, with $30,000 added, running for a purse of $31,725. Approximate post time for race 6 is at 3:45. If you can all turn to your programs to race number 1, here are all of the changes and or corrections in this afternoon's live card of racing. In the first race, we have the following overweights. Number 2, Magic's Dynasty, 6 pounds over. And number 4, Pretty Cold, 3 pounds over. Horses racing with the flipping halter on, both number 4, Pretty Cold, and number 5, Achilles TLC. Also note, throughout the card of racing, we will have rolling daily doubles and rolling pick threes on this afternoon's 6-race card. Win, play, show, exactor, and triactor wagering also available on today's first race. In the second race, the following overweights. Number 1, I'm a Quick Corona, 2 pounds over. And number 7, Aquatica, 6 pounds over. Horses racing with the flipping halter on. 1, I'm a Quick Corona. 2, LRH Voodoo Runner. And 7, Aquatica. In race number 2, we have Superfecta wagering also available. And also it is race A of this afternoon's Pick 5. In the third race, just a couple overweights. Number 3, All Out of Sugar, 3 pounds over. And number 5, Maryland Magic, 2 pounds over. Horses racing with the flipping halter on. Number 1, Blue Eyed Merlin. Number 3, All Out of Sugar. And number 4, Mom's Extravagant Heart. Race 3 is race A of this afternoon's Pick 4. In the fourth race, all the following overweights. Number 1, Bricks and Mortar, 5 pounds over. Number 3, Ruby Jess, 1 pound over. Number 5, Maximize, 6 pounds over. And number 6, Caraway's Jet Moon, 3 pounds over. Horses racing with the flipping halter on. Number 2, First Prize Charlotte. And both number 5, Maximize, and number 6, Caraway's Jet Moon. Race 5 is for Maiden, 3-year-olds and upward. In the fifth race, the following overweights. Number 4, Francesca, 5 pounds over. And number 6, Joe Checkers, 2 pounds over. Also note the medication on number 1, Dark and Stormy, first-time Lasix. Also first-time Lasix, number 3, SW the Tempest. Also note that jockey Alexis Sanchez will be riding number 1, Dark and Stormy, not carrying a whip. That's no whip on number 1, Dark and Stormy. Also racing with the flipping halter on in race 5, number 5, Mia Havana, number 6, Joe Checkers, and number 7, MJ Flying Hot. Race 5 is the first half of today's late daily double. Also note Superfecta wagering available on race 5. That brings us to the 6th and feature race of the afternoon, the first running of the QROOI Open Derby, $30,000 added for 3-year-olds and upward. In that 6th race, the following overweights. Number 1, Snow Moose, 2 pounds over. Number 4, Valiant Chicken Snow, 6 pounds over. And number 9, Damn I'm Relentless, 5 pounds over. Horses racing with the flipping halter on in race 6 are the following horses. Number 6, Katie on Fire. Number 7, One Fabulous Wave. And number 8, A Shades of Cold. Those are the changes thus far in your program. Any further changes or corrections will be given to you before each race. Track conditions are listed as good. It's 16 degrees Celsius, 61 degrees Fahrenheit. We have the wind coming from the north at 21 kilometers an hour, which is 12 miles per hour. Post time for race 1 is at 1:30 in just 12 minutes. The horses are now entering the track for today's first race. It's for 3-year-olds and upward with an average speed index of 70 and under, or with a speed index that has never been better than 75. They're running for a purse of $8,000. Number 1, Caraway's Native Lane, owned by the partnership of Wayne and Carol Proctor. Tony Phillips aboard. Number 2 is Magic's Dynasty, owned by Milena Fitchin. J.B. Botello in the saddle. Number 3 is Sean Slater's Kefla, the mount to Jose Cruz. Number 4, that's Pretty Cold, owned by Tim Wetlaufer and ridden today by jockey Rachel Isaacs. And completing the field is number 5, Achilles TLC, owned by the First Line Racing Syndicate and ridden by jockey Ramiro Sanchez Castillo. That is your field for today's first race, going a distance of 250 yards. 4 minutes till post time. All the horses are now approaching the starting gates. They'll be loading shortly. All the horses have now reached the starting point. It's post time. The horses are now entering the starting gates. The first one in, number 1, Caraway's Native Lane, one of 2 4-year-olds in this field, making his 2023 debut. Number 2 is Magic's Dynasty, currently the heavy choice on the board at 2-5. 3 is Kefla, making her 2023 debut. Number 4 is Pretty Cold. And the last one to load from the outside, the other 4-year-old gelding, Achilles TLC. Both 3 and 4 acting up in the gate. They've settled. They're at the post. And they're off. Lunging at the start was Magic's Dynasty. Kefla's there, and Pretty Cold is there. Veering to the fences, Caraway's Native Lane, and Achilles TLC has too much to make up, but he's flying. He's found his best ride. Is it too late? Yes, it is. It's too late as Magic's Dynasty wins it over Pretty Cold. Achilles TLC completes the triactor. 2-4-5 unofficial. We have a photo to win in the opening race between number 4, Pretty Cold, and number 2, Magic's Dynasty. In the photograph, the unofficial winner was number 4, Pretty Cold, winning it by a whisker over number 2, Magic's Dynasty. Third was number 5, Achilles TLC, and fourth, number 3, Kefla. In the winner's enclosure, there's your winner, Pretty Cold. Wait till you see the photograph on this win photo. Congratulations, Pretty Cold is owned by Tim Wetlaufer and trained by Mitchell Daniel. Congratulations on their first victory here at Ajax Downs and the first win of the season for Rachel Isaacs. Pretty Cold is a 3-year-old Sorrel filly by Cold Hard Dash out of Pretty Bird by Dash and By. Foaled in Ontario by Marianne Piscucci. Pretty Cold winning the distance with a time of 14.101 seconds, carrying a speed index of 62. Rechecking from top to bottom, order finishing your program should read 52413. In this upcoming second race, just a couple overweights. Number 1, I'm a Quick Corona, 2 pounds over, and number 7, Aquatica, 6 pounds over. Note that race 2 is race A of this afternoon's Pick 5.
Look at that photo. We'd have to get a little. Okay, Bill Talon, he's going up closer to see if, because we don't think. What, look at that. Wow. The winner was number 3, Pretty Cold. And why didn't we bet Pretty Cold? I'm freezing. I mean, come on. Pretty Cold, owned by Tim Wetlaufer. This is his first horse. I remember interviewing him last year when she won. Tim's not here today, but congratulations, Tim. And this is the first winner trained by Mitchell Daniel. So congratulations to Mitch, who has been helping out the Jason Pascoe barn and all kinds of people. And good for him. He said smiles for miles. So Pretty Cold, bred by Marianne Piscucci, ridden by Rachel Isaacs, who joins me with Mummy as well. There's Mummy. Rachel, you rode this filly for Tim last year, and she won her maiden. In her third start, she was third, second, first. Looks like a really nice, promising individual, but first time out this season didn't really show much.
No, she hit a bunch of traffic, and she can be a bit of a closer and stuff, and she's a good gate horse, but, well, she's good out of the gates, not the best in the gates at times, but no, she got out and then just hit a bit of traffic, so she didn't really get to show how good she is, but she ran great today, and it's the first win for Mitch, and I mean, he's loved this horse. When she was in Jason's barn, he knew her a little bit, and so him and Tim, I guess, got to talking, and that's his first racehorse, and it's paid off. I mean, he goes over and above with this filly. He loves her, and he's always giving me the inside scoop of how she's doing day to day, so it's nice to win on a horse like that.
Oh, that's really special. Did you think you had won?
No. Right at the wire, I just took a little peek, and then on the backside, I said, "Did you get me?" And JB said, "I don't know."
Yeah.
He goes, "Did you get me?" I said, "I don't know." So then we heard over the radio, and I was, okay, well, then I'm glad that she didn't get her whiskers trimmed, because it looks like she won by a whisker.
Very good. Well done, Rachel. Great way to start the day. Third day of our season, and you're on the winner's board. Yes, you may.
And I missed my mom's birthday and Mother's Day for racing, so this win's going to go for her. Mama Dukes. She always supported me in the horses, so there you go. Thanks, Jen. Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Congrats, you guys. And that was Pretty Cold. And it is pretty cold today, and I'm wearing shorts. I don't know why. We have the second race coming up in 17 minutes.
Congratulations to Rachel Isaacs. A nice victory in race number 1 today, Jen. It's nice to see her win. She doesn't win that often, but she certainly gives it 100% every time she goes out there. Let's move.
And what about Mitch Daniels, first winner as a trainer?
Well, there you go. We got the Mitch Daniels broke his maiden, as well as Pretty Cool winning his or her second lifetime race.
Yep, that was a nice way to start the day. And Rachel with her mother Julia, very nice to see the family. It's such a family-oriented sport. It's just so much fun.
It certainly is. There's no question, especially here at Ajax Downs. Let's move on to race number 2, a speed index event. These are 3-year-olds and up with an average of 80 and under, or never better than 85. The start of today's Pick 5 going a distance of 300 yards, and I think we've both landed on the 7-horse Aquatica, who's even money right now.
Yeah, it's no surprise that she's taking all the money. You know, she had that big workout we were talking about in the pregame show before her season debut on May 10th, and she ran to that workout. She just blew them away. Now, this is a significant step upwards. So, you know, even money is not too exciting for me.
Right.
I picked her, but the competition's pretty stiff.
Yeah, and I want you to talk about the one horse in here. I'm a quick Corona. You and I talked about this horse in the pregame show. Mostly you did, this 4-year-old gelding. You pointed something out that I had forgotten, and this horse was entered last week, and there was a bit of a mishap.
Yeah, so I'm a quick Corona who won 4 of 8 races last year. His first season of racing for owner, breeder, trainer James Bogar. This horse was even money in a race last week, a tougher race than this. And unfortunately, there was some equipment issue where he actually got a little hung up in the gate and was declared a non-starter. And actually, Tony Phillips fell off, and the horse ran around through the race. Now, Tony is not riding because TP's on Red Wagon Dust, a horse that he always ride. And Brian Bell's going to ride I'm a Quick Corona. And I do remember last week the horse made such a sparkling presentation in the walking ring here. And he looks good again today.
Okay, we're going to do the run-up for this race, so maybe you can let the fans out there know and the bettors out there know approaching the gate how I'm a Quick Corona looks going to that post. I ended up on the 6-horse for second, Hanover Hill Viola, who's a decent price in here, owned by the Peacock Cattle Company, trained by Rick Kennedy, who's only had 1 start this year, which is uncharacteristic of Rick. He usually has more starters than that, but I guess he's off to a slow start. And Jose Cruz looking for his first winner here at the Downs this year.
Yeah, looking for his first win as a jockey, actually, Jose Cruz. So, yeah, Hanover Hill Viola. I guess if you like Aquatica, then you can like her a little bit. She was 3rd behind Aquatica in her season debut with Carly Furlonger riding that day. She's capable of running in the high 70s. I'm kind of looking for a horse that I'm pretty sure can run a speed index in the 80s. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to run an 80 today because the wind's pretty strong coming at them heading down the stretch. But, yeah, I thought maybe Hanover Hill Viola might be, unless she takes a big step forward, she might be settling for a smaller share.
Well, I'll give you a horse in here that could run in the 80s, has run in the 80s 3 times already, and that's the 5-horse. Had to be Ivy. This horse here is 7-1 right now, coming out of that red-hot Bryn Robinson barn. And, you know, she's got an excuse last time. She hopped badly at the start, really took away any chance she had. Look at her form from last year. As a 2-year-old, this filly, you know, has run in the 80s 3 times, including an effort in the Ontario Futurity.
Yep, this is a full sister to Had to Be Ivory, who had that remarkable return to racing last week in the stakes race, the Norman Peacock Futurity. She's a difficult filly. They don't make any mistake about that. Bryn Robertson talks about Had to Be Ivy being a little bit difficult. She's a lot more settled this week than she was on opening day. She was a bit bananas. She's feisty. She wants to do things her own way. And then when the gates opened, she sort of threw her head up. She lunged, hopped, and lost all chance. That was the trial for the Open Derby today. So, yeah, I mean, if she's on her better behavior, and breaks well, and she could be in the top three.
Talk about the two horse LRH Voodoo Runner coming out of the Broadstock barn. Ramiro Sanchez Castillo in the saddle. This 4-year-old mare making her debut this year. She's run in the 80s in the past as well.
Yeah, she's an experienced filly, and I like the way that she worked her way into Ajax last season. She was a new horse for the Broadstocks. She had a few starts to get acclimated, ran in the Princess Derby, but then she was first, second, or third in virtually all of her last starts of the season, including a second-place finish in a very tough speed index race against 5-Bar Fandango. First time off the layoff? I don't know. I mean, I'd probably rather see a race from her, especially being on the inside. But she makes a good appearance here.
Okay, win, place, show, daily double, exactor, triactor, superfecta, pick 3, and of course, pick 5 wagering coming up in about 6 minutes. Get your wager in early. Don't get shut out. Both Jen and I will be with you for the run up to this race.
If I can have your attention, ladies and gentlemen, the racetrack has now been upgraded to fast. The track conditions are now upgraded to a fast track. The horses are now entering the track for today's second race for 3-year-olds and upward with an average speed index of 80 and under, or with a speed index that has never been better than 85. Number 1, I'm a Quick Corona, owned by James Bogar and ridden today by jockey Brian Bell. Number 2 is LRH Voodoo Runner, owned by Marie Broadstock, the Mount Ramiro Sanchez Castillo. Number 3 is Red Wagon Dust, owned by Amanda McCormick, Tony Phillips in the saddle. Number 4 is Making an Effort, owned by the partnership of Phil Furlonger and Scott Reed. The rider is Carly Furlonger. Number 5 is Had to Be Ivy, owned by the partnership of Carol and Jamie Robertson, the mount to Josh Scott. Number 6 is the Peacock Cattle Company's Hanover Hill Viola, ridden today by jockey Jose Cruz. And number 7 is Aquatica, owned by Jason Pasco. The rider is J.B. Botello. That is your field for the second race, going a distance of 300 yards. 2 minutes till post time. Race 2 is race A of this afternoon's Pick 5.
Race number 2 coming up in a minute here, Jen. You're the rail bird today, as always, and it's a little cool out there, so I feel a little sorry for you. Any signs that anyone looked really, really good going into the gate?
Aquatica really looks like she's ready to go again. I mean, she just had her game face on, ears up, her neck was bowed. She was just, jogging a little bit and just looking like she was very strong. I should say the 5 horse had to be Ivy, who is a little devil. I mean, she can be tricky. She got quite silly in the post parade and actually almost fell down. She sort of sat down, and Josh Scott was able to stay on. So, I mean, she looks great, had to be Ivy, but she really is kind of a difficult filly. But as far as the best-looking horse, the 7 Aquatica, the 1 looks good again. I'm a Quick Corona. I have to remind the crowd here, there's still some packages, the betting packages available. For $10, you can get $12 in bets and a program. Last week, the bets all came in, and there was $20 winner for each package. So please go over to the Wanna-Bet area and get some packages.
There you go. That's the word from the rail. Good luck in your wagering. Race number 2. Don't forget the start of today's Pick 5.
All the horses are now approaching the starting gates. They'll be loading shortly. All the horses have now reached the starting point. It's post time. The horses are now entering the starting gates. Number 1, I'm a Quick Corona, the first one in. Number 6, Hanover Hill Viola. Number 2 is LRH Voodoo Runner. Number 4 is Making an Effort. Five is Had to Be Ivy. 3 is Red Wagon Dust, and the last one to load from the outside stall, number 7, the post-time favorite at even money, is Aquatica. They're at the post. And they're off. Lunging at the start was Red Wagon Dust. Out quickly towards the inside, LRH Voodoo Runner. Red Wagon Dust early second. Aquatica now kicks in from the outside. And along the inside is I'm a Quick Corona and Had to Be Ivy. I'm a Quick Corona, but on the extreme outside, Aquatica gets up to win it. Second was Had to Be Ivy. We've got a 3-horse photo to show with number 1, I'm a Quick Corona, number 2, LRH Voodoo Runner, and number 3, Red Wagon Dust. The unofficial winner of the second race was number 7, Aquatica. Second was number 5, Had to Be Ivy. In the show photo was number 3, Red Wagon Dust, finishing third, with number 1, I'm a Quick Corona, finishing fourth. Now entering the winner's enclosure is your unofficial winner of the second race. That's number 7, Aquatica, making it 2 for 2 in the 2023 season. The results of the second race are now official. The winner is number 7, Aquatica, 3-year-old Gray Filly by Moon and the Eagle out of Contingency by Ocean Runaway. Fold in Texas by Bobby D. Cox, Aquatica is owned and trained by Jason Pasco and ridden to victory by leading jockey J.B. Botello. Aquatica winning the distance with a time of 15.936 seconds, carrying a speed index of 78. Rechecking from top to bottom, order of finish in your program should read 453-7261. Those are the total results of the second race. In this upcoming third race, just a couple overweights. Number 3, All Out of Sugar, 3 pounds over. And number 5, Maryland Magic, 2 pounds over. Race 3 is Race A of this afternoon's Pick 4.
Race number 3 is another speed index race. These are 3-year-olds and up with an average of 90 or never, better than 95. And, of course, we got the big horse. Maryland Magic is 1-9 right now, Jen, this 9-year-old horse who has a lot of things to do in life. Race, be a sire, have fun.
That's right. Maryland Magic sires lots of winners, and he also wins lots of races. And little known fact, he has won at every distance at Ajax Downs. He's won at pretty much every distance. I guess even last year, I think he won one of those turn races, didn't he? 770. So, yeah, he's won at every distance. So, okay, so now he's 9 years old. He had a 110-yard dash to start his season. It's not his best distance. He's run well at it. But, you know, it's one of those races that if you break, like, you know, a half a step slowly, you're going to be fifth, beaten half a length. And so this is a much better spot for Maryland Magic to get back in the winner's circle. You know, he's only been in one speed index race in his last, I don't even know, 30 starts, and that was last year. And it was a race that he won by a head. 16 wins in his career. This is the first time that Brian Bell has got the call on Maryland Magic. So should be fun to watch, and you know, tough to bet against him.
It is. How about the one-horse Blue-Eyed Merlin? Jose Cruz, looking for his first lifetime win, is currently on the board at 9-5.
Well, this horse is really sharp, and he came out opening day, May 10th, and looked really strong and ran to his appearance. I mean, he was really good that day and ran a 93, which was his best speed index of his career. And he is really feeling good here. He's under control. He's with his trainer, James Bogar, but just very sharp, and certainly looks like a gelding on the rise here.
Okay, the 4-horse Mom's Extravagant Heart. Cassandra Jeske looking for her second win of the year, and Chantal Bourgeois, the owner-trainer of this horse, looking for her first this year.
Yeah, and this guy went out on a winning note last season, actually ended a lengthy winless streak, won by a neck. Doesn't really ever run a bad race, this horse. First time out last season, he tried a 300-yard race, and it was kind of a messy beginning that day. Not sure he can win right off the shelf here, but a horse that you might want to consider near triactors.
Okay, and the 2-horse Ice Cream Cartel and the 3-horse All Out of Sugar, both out of the Bob Broadstock barn. The 3-horse All Out of Sugar, Rachel Isaac's looking for her second victory of the day.
Yeah, All Out of Sugar, a stakes winner, and 3 wins last season in 8 starts. Ramiro Castillo usually rides him, but of course he's going to ride Ice Cream Cartel, who won 3 of 5 last year. So both are very winning type horses. Bob his horses have been hitting the board. He's got a win. Yeah, I mean, either of them wouldn't surprise me, at least for finishing second.
Okay, that's our field for race number 3, the start of today's Pick 4.
horses are now entering the track for today's third race. It's for 3-year-olds and upward with an average speed index of 90 and under, or with a speed index that has never been better than 95, running for a purse of $10,000. Number 1, Blue Eyed Merlin, owned by James Bogar and ridden today by jockey Jose Cruz. Number 2 is Ice Cream Cartel, owned by the partnership of Marie Broadstock and the Peacock Cattle Company, the Mount Ramiro Sanchez Castillo. Number 3 is All Out of Sugar, owned by Marie Broadstock and ridden today by jockey Rachel Isaacs. Number 4 is Mom's Extravagant Heart, owned by Chantal Bourgeois, Cassandra Jeske in the irons. And number 5 is Maryland Magic, owned by Milena Fitchin and ridden today by jockey Brian Bell. That is your field for the third race, going a distance of 330 yards. Race 3 is Race A of today's Pick 4. 4 minutes till post time. All the horses are now approaching the starting gates. They'll be loading shortly. All the horses have now reached the starting gates. It's post time. Number 4, Mom's Extravagant Heart, is going to be loaded first. Number 2 is Ice Cream Cartel, one of 2 in this field for Bob Broadstock, the lone gray mare in the field. 5 is Maryland Magic, trying to give Jason Pasco back-to-back winners. 3 is All Out of Sugar. And the last one to load is the even money choice on the board, number 1, Blue Eyed Merlin. They're at the post. And they're off. Coming out together were Blue Eyed Merlin and Ice Cream Cartel. From the outside is Maryland Magic, then Mom's Extravagant Heart, and the trailer All Out of Sugar. Blue Eyed Merlin on the inside, Maryland Magic on the outside. Between his Ice Cream Cartel, Maryland Magic now kicks in and is going to win it. Mom's Extravagant Heart was second. We're going to have a show photo between Blue Eyed Merlin and Ice Cream Cartel. The unofficial winner of the third race was number 5, Maryland Magic. Second was number 4, Mom's Extravagant Heart. In the show photograph, it was number 2, Ice Cream Cartel, finishing third, over number 1, Blue Eyed Merlin, finishing fourth. Entering the winner's enclosure is your unofficial winner of the third race. That's the 9-year-old black horse by PYC Paint Your Wagon out of Purely Unsocial by Almighty Dash. That's Maryland Magic, foaled in Maryland by Stephen M. Harris, winning its 17th lifetime victory in just 54 lifetime starts. The results of the third race are now official. Once again, the winner is number 5, Maryland Magic, 9 years old by PYC Paint Your Wagon out of Purely Unsocial by Almighty Dash. Foaled in Maryland by Stephen Harris, Maryland Magic is owned by Milena Fitchin, trained by Jason Pasco. That's back-to-back winners for Jason Pasco, and ridden to victory by jockey Brian Bell. Maryland Magic winning the distance with a time of 17.355 seconds, carrying a speed index of 82. Rechecking from top to bottom, order of finish in your program should read 43521. Those are the total results of the third race. In this upcoming fourth race, just the following overweights. Number 1, Bricks and Mortar, 5 pounds over. Number 3, Ruby Jess, 1 pound over. Number 5, Maximize, 6 pounds over. And number 6, Caraway's Jet Moon, 3 pounds over.
Oh, what a treat it is to watch Maryland Magic. That was his 17th career win and his 54th start. He is a 9-year-old black stallion. He is the black stallion. He's got foals racing on today's card. He's very friendly and gentle, and he looks a picture of health. And congratulations to Milena Fitchin and Jason Pasco, who do such a great job with this wonderful horse. And riding him to victory today for the first time, after all these races, Brian Bell, one of our all-time leading jockeys here. Brian, congratulations on your first win of the season. Only your third mount, I guess, but you're riding Maryland Magic. What was it like?
You know, it's a treat to ride a horse like that. You know, he doesn't do any problems in the gate, stands like a champ, and when he's on his game, he'll win. And if he's not, well, then he's going to darn try.
So do you think I could have ridden him to win?
I think anybody could have.
Oh, maybe I'll have to talk to Milena then. Maybe I could try it. So how does it feel? You get your first win. Now you can just concentrate on racking up some more wins. You got to get the first one out of the way, don't you?
Oh, you do. You have to get that monkey off your back, and then it just progresses from there.
Very good. Well, congratulations, Brian. Well done on Maryland Magic. Great to see you in the winner's circle and a wonderful horse like that.
Thank you very much.
All right. That was race 3, Maryland Magic. Incredible horse. And why don't you try and buy one of his foals, because he's got lots of them around. We have race 4 coming up in 17 minutes.
Race number 4 is an allowance event. These are 3-year-olds and up that have never won 2 races if you're an Ontario bred and 3 races if you're an Ontario sire. Jen, we're starting to stretch out a little bit. This is 330 yards.
Yeah, and all the money is going on to First Prize Charlotte at the moment. I mean, still lots of time before the race. But this starts a very fascinating late pick 3, which ends on the wide open Open Derby, which is race 6. But as far as this race, this is a few 3-year-olds meeting up with some older horses. So First Prize Charlotte, one of the top 2-year-old fillies of last year. Sensational debut winner, won by 2 lengths. Everybody thought she was going to go be a world beater, and then she sort of stubbed her toe, came back and won the Ontario Sires Futurity, and then placed another stakes race. So this is their first start since October. We know that the Michelle Woodley barn, very good at getting horses ready off a layoff. She looks very good in the walking ring here. She's got the number 2 saddle towel, white blinkers, white towel, so it's looking good.
Okay, let's talk about the horse that she has to beat in here, which is a 3-year-old gelding, in my opinion, by Ivory James, and that's a horse called Maximize coming out of the Jason Pascoe barn.
Yeah, so Jason already with 2 wins today, and Maximize I picked because he qualified for the Open Derby. He was one of the finalists, but he kind of, after he broke so sharply in his trial, he sort of seemed to sink on the inside there, and didn't really mount a challenge, so they decided, well, let's not go in the final, let's go in this easier race. So I think he can bounce back in a big way here, meeting easier. Again, it's his first start as a 3-year-old, and he's meeting older horses, but I like the fact that he's on the outside for this race. He doesn't have the 1 hole. I'd love to see him go off at 15-1, but I'm sure he won't. And J.B. Botello is aboard, so that's my pick.
Let's talk about a horse that actually ran really, really well first time out this year on opening day, and that's a 3-horse Ruby Jess, who is taking some support today. This horse has run second 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and she's a little go-getter. I mean, she's not very big. She's there with the pony, and she is owned, trained, and bred by Daniel Stevenson. And just a lovely little filly. Works hard every race. She pins her ears flat back on her head, and that's what she did in her return. Just got beat in the neck by that big colt, quick as a hiccup. And just a very game filly. So I would certainly make sure you have her on your exactor and try tickets.
Let's talk about the 4-horse Raptor coming out of the Scott Reed barn. This is a horse that's always there, but a little on the wind shy. 2 for 21, 6 seconds, 3/3.
Well, if you look at his running lines down the page, I mean, the one thing about Raptor is that he has to be in the mood to come out of the gate properly, and he was not first time out this year. He lunged up in the air and lost all chance, and he tends to, when he breaks slow, that's the end of it, but he does try hard when he gets into the race, and he runs high 80s. He's even ran a 90 last season. He's a contender, but you have to roll the dice and hope that he breaks.
Before we talk about the 1-horse Bricks and Mortar, let me ask you this question. What are your thoughts so far after seeing the first 3 races on the inside?
Well, it's only 3 races, but I'm very surprised that some of the horses on the inside didn't do as well as I thought. Blue-Eyed Merlin, I thought, would really be right there. He was 4th. He wasn't beaten far, but
he tired late. He seemed tired late.
There seems to be a definite outside flow. Now, the last 2 winners have been heavy favorites, so I'd have to wait to see to the end of the day.
Okay, so Bricks and Mortar, it's going to be a tough job overcoming what we've seen so far on the inside. And finally, the 6-horse Caraway's Jet Moon seems to be a little overmatched. There's another horse really on the wind shy. 2 for 58 on wins, this 8-year-old mare. She tries, but really didn't have a very good season last year.
Well, she's had similar seasons 2 years in a row, about almost $10,000 in earnings. But, yeah, she's a stretch runner who likes a bit more distance. She doesn't often get the perfect race for her. But she grinds it out, and this is her first start of the year.
Okay, that's our field for race number 4 coming up to you in about 6 minutes.
The horses are now entering the track for today's fourth race. It's an allowance for Ontario-bred 3-year-olds and upward, non-winners of 2 races, or Ontario-sired, which have never won 3 races lifetime. Number 1, Bricks and Mortar, owned by the partnership of Eric and Joyce Letnan, and ridden by D.I. Benitez. Number 2 is First Prize Charlotte, owned by Richard Winsakabi, Tony Phillips in the saddle. Number 3 is Ruby Jess, owned by Dan Stevenson and ridden by Cheyenne Kerr. Number 4 is Raptor, owned by the partnership of Scott Reed and Colleen McCracken, the mount to Carly Furlonger. Number 5 is Maximize, owned by Belinda Taggart and ridden today by jockey J.B. Botello. And number 6 is Caraway's Jet Moon, owned by the partnership of Wayne and Carol Proctor, the jockey Rachel Isaacs. That is your field for the fourth race, going a distance of 330 yards. 3 minutes till post time. All the horses are now approaching the starting gates. They'll be loading shortly. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, to anyone that purchased a quarter horse program, if any of our jockeys win 2 races this afternoon, you will be entitled to a free Frosty. In this upcoming fourth race, trying to win their second race of the afternoon, number 5, Maximize, jockey J.B. Botello, and 6, Caraway's Jet Moon, jockey Rachel Isaacs. If they win this upcoming fourth race, you will be entitled to a free Frosty. All the horses have now reached the starting point. It's post time. Number 1, Bricks and Mortar, is the first one in. One of 2 in this field for Jason Pasco, trying to win 3 consecutive races. Number 2 is First Prize Charlotte, the lone 3-year-old filly in this field, currently the 3-2 favorite on the board. Number 3 is Ruby Jess. 4 is Raptor. 5 is the other Pasco train, Maximize. And the last one in, number 6, Caraway's Jet Moon, the longest shot on the board at 10-1. They're at the post. And they're off. Oh, quickest in the center of the track is First Prize Charlotte. Right to his flank is Ruby Jess. Third along the rail, Bricks and Mortar. Then it's back to the other trio, but it's First Prize Charlotte and Ruby Jess. Those two coming down to the wire. Who is it going to be? Ruby Jess gets the head over victory over First Prize Charlotte. It looks like Bricks and Mortar will complete the triactor. 3-2-1 unofficial. The results of the fourth race are now official. The winner is number 3, Ruby Jess, 4-year-old Sorrel mare by Sugarman Perry out of Jess Roman by Jess Louisiana Blue. Bred, owned, and trained by Dan Stevenson. Congratulations on his first win of the season. Also ridden to victory by jockey Cheyenne Kerr, her first win of the season. Ruby Jess winning the distance with a time of 17.194 seconds, carrying a speed index of 87. Rechecking from top to bottom, order of finish in your program should read 3-2-1-4-5-6. Those are the total results of the fourth race. In this upcoming fifth race, note we have first-time medication on both the number 1 horse, Dark and Stormy, and number 3, SW the Tempest. Also, the jockey on number 1, Dark and Stormy, Alexis Sanchez, will be riding without a whip. Also, the overweights in race 5, number 4, Francesca, 5 pounds over, and number 6, Joe Checkers, 2 pounds over. Race 5 is the first half of the late daily double.
We are here with the winning connections of Ruby Jess, an Ontario-bred filly by Sugarman Perry, 4-year-old, owned, bred, trained by Daniel Stevenson, who joins me. Jockey Cheyenne Kerr, who has ridden her now 4 races in a row and has got her out of the second place slots and ridden her to victory today. She had 5 second place finishes coming into this race today. Cheyenne, what was the secret today versus last week when she lost by a neck?
Oh, honestly, there was no secret. I think she just needed one race to get fit again, and now she's feeling pretty good.
I mean, she really just seemed like she was always going to be in front in that race. That's the way it looked coming out of the gate.
Yeah, when she broke, I had a feeling she was going to keep the lead the whole way down, and she just kept going.
And she looks like a filly that really loves to run. She kind of puts her ears right back and just goes.
Yeah, oh yeah, nothing can stop her when she gets going.
Well, congratulations, Cheyenne, your first win of the season, and keep it up.
Thank you.
Daniel, well done. Yeah, now this is your only horse that you...
Ontario sired.
Ontario sire, that's right. Now, where did you get the breeding for this mare? Jess Roman, is that your mare?
Jess Roman, I bought her a few years ago in the Carson sale.
Yeah. And so is this the only horse that you bred out of the mare?
No, I've got 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
I got 3 at home and going to breed her again. Cold Hard Dash. Another Ontario sired. Ontario sired, man.
So this filly is just a gem of consistency. I mean, yes, a lot of second place finishes, but that picks up the bills, doesn't, or picks up the pay.
Yeah, she's tough and she's a racehorse. When she gets over here, she puts her game face on.
So do you. Well done. That's very exciting for you. A very nice purse there. Her second win in 12 starts.
Yeah, right on. Thank you.
All right. Ruby Jess won race 4. That was a fun race to watch. We got the late double coming up, race 5 and 6.
Race number 5 is the maiden event. These are 3-year-olds and up, going a distance of 300 yards. And right now, Jen, the current favorite at 4-5 is Francesca.
Yeah, I mean, she's the most logical horse of the field here. I loved her return outing on opening day. Didn't have the best of starts. It was a little bit rocky, and I had the replay to show at the pregame show. And, just not very sharp from the gate, but she really flew through the stretch, gave a good run at the favorite, Power Oak, and she was well clear of the third horse. So it's got to be her day today. 4-5, I mean, it's tough to take those odds when she was 7-2 on opening day. But, yeah, she's going to be tough.
Let's talk about one of the horses that she has to beat in here, and that, of course, is the 2-horse Biggie. Ismael Mascara, who won a race yesterday at Fort Erie, is looking for his first victory here at Ajax Downs today.
Yeah, so this horse was well-traveled last year in the United States, was at a bunch of different tracks, Wyoming, places like that, and then he came to Ajax Downs. Good grief, it's really getting windy here. Then he came to Ajax Downs in September and finished a very good second to none other than Aquatica, who she has won 2 races since that day. And then his second start at Ajax Downs was not too bad, closed mildly in that 5-horse field. So first race since last October for Jason Pascoe. 300 yards might be okay for him, might be a little short, but he's a horse that you can consider in your top 3.
Let's talk about 2 newcomers to this race and to the circuit. First of all, the 1-horse Dark and Stormy, making his first lifetime start from the 1-hole. Lauren Spada trains this horse. Alexis Sanchez in the saddle.
Yeah, very nice breeding on this Louisiana bred. The sire, Carter's Cartel, was a champion 2-year-old when he was racing. The mare was a stakes winner and grade 1 placed. And so there's all kinds of quality and class in this colt's breeding. He had a couple of workouts last year and was put away, and then he's got the 2 workouts, one at Ajax and one at Fort Erie, showing for this season. That's where they're based, the Spada team. They're based at Fort Erie. No whip for Alexis Sanchez. This is his fourth career mount. He rides the next race, and then he should have a whip by next week if he's riding. But very nice looking first-time starter here. Very calm, just taking in the scenery. I'm quite interested in this horse.
Yeah, it's a good-looking horse. I'm looking at him right now. Boy, is he a good-looking horse. The 7-horse MJ Flying Hot, also making her debut, this 4-year-old mare, last raced over a year ago down at Louisiana. And Bob Rostock's had this mare for a while, decides to start her today.
Yeah, well, a $5,000 claim back in late 2021, and she lost a couple of photos then. Ran a 79 speed index at Louisiana Downs. Hard to get a gauge on how she'll handle this track right off the long layoff. She's had the one workout from the gate. Just taking a look at her in the walking ring here. She makes a good appearance. Not too riled up, just looking quite good.
And another horse that's making his debut here at Ajax Downs, coming from down south, is the 6-horse Joe Checkers.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I couldn't find out much information, but this horse had an easy win, actually, at Remington in last April, a year ago, at 440 yards, but he was disqualified for the purse money, and we didn't see him again for a year. He returned at Sandy Ridge in Kentucky for that little race meet there, finished a good third. Looks like he has all kinds of ability. He's already won a race, and he's against maidens, but of course he was disqualified from that. So be interesting to see how he handles the surface. I think he's got a good post.
And the last horse in here, the 5-horse, Mia Havana, Carly Furlonger, Scott Reed, looking to win another.
Well, this is the horse that traded bumps with Francesca coming out of the gate on opening day, and they're side by each again in the gate today. But whereas Francesca, powered along to be second, this gal sort of raced a bit erratically and Might not have liked the dirt in her face. So I might want to watch her again.
That's our field for race number 5. The first of the late daily double horses are on the track in about 30 seconds.
The horses are now entering the track for today's 5th race. It's for maiden 3-year-olds and upward, running for a purse of $10,000. Number 1, Dark and Stormy, owned by Craig Spada and ridden by jockey Alexis Sanchez. Number 2 is Big E, owned by Mark Ryu and ridden by jockey Ismael Mosquera. Number 3 is SW the Tempest, owned by Chantal Bourgeois and ridden by Cassandra Jeske. Number 4 is Francesca, owned by the Big Dog Racing Stable, the Mount to D.I. Benitez. Number 5 is John Wilson's Mia Havana, Carly Furlonger in the saddle. Number 6 is Joe Checkers, owned by Jennifer Zurowski and ridden by jockey Brian Bell. And completing the field, number 7 is MJ Flying Hot, owned by Marie Broadstock, the Mount Ramiro Sanchez Castillo. That is your field for the 5th race, going a distance of 300 yards. 3 minutes till post time. If I can have your attention, ladies and gentlemen, regarding an equipment change on number 6, Joe Checkers. He will not be racing with the flipping halter on. That is incorrect. The number 6 horse, Joe Checkers, in this upcoming 5th race, currently 3-5 on the board, will not be racing with the flipping halter on. Once again, Joe Checkers will be racing in this 5th race, but not on the flipping halter. All the horses are now approaching the starting gates. They'll be loading shortly. All the horses have now reached the starting point. It's post time. The horses are now entering the starting gates. First one in, number 5, Mia Havana. Number 1, Dark and Stormy, the lone colt in this field, making his lifetime debut. 6 is Joe Checkers, currently the 6-5 choice on the board, making his Ajax Downs debut. 2 is Big E. 3 is SW the Tempest. Number 4, Francesca. Last one in from the outside stall, number 7, MJ Flying Hot, also making her Ajax Downs debut. There at the post, acting up is number 7, MJ Flying Hot in the gates. Ramiro Castillo off, now climbs back aboard. There at the post. And they're off. Towards the inside, that's Big E and Dark and Stormy. From the center of the track, SW the Tempest shoots through, takes over the lead. SW the Tempest trying to get to the wire. Francesca at her flank. Those two coming down to the payoff. Who's it going to be? Picture time. We've got a photo to win between Francesca and SW the Tempest. Mia Havana will complete the triactor. We have a photo to win in the 5th race between number 4, Francesca, and number 3, SW the Tempest. And it was Francesca getting the victory unofficially over SW the Tempest. 3rd was number 5, Mia Havana. And in the 4th place photo, it was number 6, Joe Checkers. Now in the winner's enclosure is your unofficial winner of the fifth race. That's number 4, Francesca. The results of the fifth race are now official. The winner is number 4, Francesca, 3-year-old Sorrow filly by Highest Fire out of the Thoroughbred Star Tour by the Thoroughbred Colorful Tour. Foaled in Oklahoma by Gene Cox, Francesca is owned by the Big Dog Racing Stables, trained by Carol McIntyre. Congratulations on those connections for their first win of the 2023 season, and ridden to victory by jockey D.I. Benitez. Francesca winning the distance with a time of 16.119 seconds, carrying a speed index of 72. Rechecking from top to bottom, order of finish in your program should read 562-1347. Those are the total results of the fifth race. In this upcoming sixth race, we have the following overweights. Number 1, Snow Moose, 2 pounds over. Number 4, Valiant Chicken Snow, 6 pounds over. And number 9, Damn I'm Relentless, 5 pounds over. Also note that the rider of number 2, Crash on Oki, Alexis Sanchez, will be riding without a whip. Attention, ladies and gentlemen, if you can place your eyes on the Jumbotron on the infield, we'd like to wish a happy birthday to Kim Sabita. From all of your friends and family here at Ajax Downs, happy birthday, Kim.
Race number 6 is the feature race on today's Carter Racing, Jen. It is the QROOI Open Derby. 3-year-olds going forward for a purse of $30,000. 300 yards the distance in here. And as we said earlier, I'm shocked there's a 4 to 5 shot at any time because I think this is the toughest race on the program.
Yeah, I'm sure the odds will even out a bit. Right now, Sour Candy, as you said, undefeated, 4 to 5. I mean, he's undefeated, so
no
people
question.
are going to be drawn to that. He was one of 2 trial winners for this race. The top 10 times advanced to this final. One of them didn't go in. And so Sour Candy right now is all the rage. He is very, very feisty. He's just been pushing everybody around in the walking ring here. See John McInerney with the horse. Just putting his blinkers on, and John McInerney and Michelle Woodley trained this horse for owner and breeder Richard Winsakabi. Just a strong stretch kick. I can't even talk. This horse has a strong stretch kick, and him and Tony Phillips really get along well together. I like his post position on today's track. The only thing I'll say is that the other trial winner, One Fabulous Wave, is to his outside.
Yeah, he's to his outside, and he's your second pick in here. This horse is, right now 6 to 1, and the horse really closed very well last time. Josh Scott, I'm going to start calling him Money Josh. He just seems to come through in the big races.
Yeah, well, One Fabulous Wave, remember, he was a maiden off the layoff on opening day for his trial and came out of the blue and won at 12 to 1 over Snow Moose and Crash on Okie. So it's not like, he was heavily bet or anything. So I would be surprised if he would get much lower than, say, 3 or 4 to 1 here. But he was impressive. He ran a 93, closed fast, and Josh Scott told us after the race, and this is a big guy who trying to figure out the game and just starting to put things together.
Okay, let's talk about the horse I like in here, and this horse is 12 to 1 right now. I love the price on Valiant Chick in snow. Well, you know what? I don't want to talk about snow. We're in the middle of May. There shouldn't even be a conversation about snow. This horse here, I thought the horse ran really, really well last time. I know it finished third, but I think this horse is going to move forward off that race.
Oh, yeah, she was the top 2-year-old, co-top 2-year-old by points last year, Valiant Chicken Snow. I mean, this gal has won pretty much everywhere. She started this year with a win at Sandy Ridge in Kentucky, where she won by a neck. And she closed very well in the trial, and she wasn't hard used to win the race necessarily. So she is a definite factor. She's standing here very calm while watching her stablemate here. Snow Moose just did a little bit of a rear up. He is a good feeling gelding.
Okay, let's talk about another filly in here out of the Jason Pasco barn, and that's the 9 horse at 6 to 1. Diego Benitez in the saddle for this one. This horse was claimed for $20,000 down at Remington Park and really showed a lot last time and just missed to Sour Candy.
Yeah, broke sharply. She had an inside post, but I thought the inside wasn't really good that day, and just got caught late by Sour Candy. So, I guess basic handicapping says that she's going to be a tough one to run down again, and this time she has an outside post.
Okay, the 1 horse, Snow Moose, but for the fact that this 3-year-old gelding is on the inside, He's got a big shot. I'm just leery on the inside having 8 horses outside of you on a part of the surface that I don't think you and I think has been the best place to be.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the looks of him here. He looks just as good as he did in his first start of the year when he just missed. I mean, this is a very promising young horse, bred right here in Ontario. But yeah, the inside post is not ideal, I don't think. I mean, let's see what kind of odds we're getting. 2-1 is a bit on the low side. But he's, he was doing a little bit of a rearing up here, but now he's settled. He's just waiting to get the signal to go.
I tell you what would be a miracle in here, and that would, not a miracle, but would be an unexpected, just a valiant victory would be the 2-horse Crash on Oki. That would give Lauren Spada her first winner this year. That would give Alexis Sanchez his first ever win. And also the horse would break his maiden. Could you imagine? And lighting up the tote board would be nice too.
Oh yeah, and he's a nice looking little horse. Not overly big, but just an excellent effort in his first start of the year when a close third behind One Fabulous Wave and Snow Moose. Makes a good appearance. Alexis again riding the horse, no whip. And this is his 5th career mount. And like you said, looking for his first win.
And the horse probably with the best name in here, and that's the 3-horse A Dream to Build a Kiss On. Brandon Boulanger rides for Angel Carter.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with his season debut. This is a guy that finished a close 4th in a stakes race last year, and a pretty good 4th in his trial behind Sour Candy.
Okay, the 6-horse Katie on Fire, Bob Broadstock, Ramiro Sanchez Castillo. This is a horse that broke outward last time, had an even effort on her first start over this surface.
Actually, I thought she really closed well, and she did sort of come out of the gate crooked, as sometimes horses with the outside post tend to do, and she closed very fast, so I'm looking for her to be in the exotics.
The last horse we haven't spoken to is the 8-horse A Shades of Cold, Ismael Mascara. This horse has won 2 races in his life, looking for his 3rd victory, and did run well last year in the Ontario Sires Futurity, where it just got beat a neck that day.
Yeah, one of the top 2-year-old males of last season, and was close to a couple of these. He was one of those horses that seemed to be negatively affected by the rail post on May 10th in his trial. He ducked inside and ended up right on the rail, and seemed to just sort of spin his wheels there, so it wouldn't surprise me if he ran better.
That's our field for our feature race, the first running of the QROI Open Derby. $30,000 up for grabs. Both Jen and I will be with you for the run-up in this race in about 5 minutes.
The horses are now parading onto the track for the 610 feature race of the afternoon. It's the first running of the QROI Open Derby for 3-year-olds with $30,000 added, running for a purse of $31,725. Number 1, Snow Moose. owned by Milena Fitchin, trained by Jason Pascoe, and ridden today by jockey Brian Bell. Number 2 is Crash Sean Oakey, owned by Craig Spada, trained by Lauren Spada, Alexis Sanchez in the saddle. Number 3 is A Dream to Build a Kiss On, owned and trained by Angelle Carter, the mount to Brandon Chance Boulanger. Number 4 is Valiant Chicken Snow, owned by Milena Fitchin, trained by Jason Pascoe, and ridden by jockey J.B. Botello. Number 5 is Sour Candy, owned by Richard Winsakabi, trained by Michelle Woodley, Tony Phillips in the irons. Number 6 is Katie on Fire, owned by the Katie on Fire stable, trained by Bob Broadstock, and ridden by jockey Ramiro Sanchez Castillo. Number 7 is One Fabulous Wave, owned by the partnership of Carol and Jamie Robertson, trained by Bryn Robertson, the jockey Josh Scott. Number 8 is A Shades of Cold, owned by Emily Obu, trained by Jason Pascoe, and ridden by Ismael Mosquera. And completing the field, number 9 is Damn I'm Relentless, owned by Mark Ryu, trained by Jason Pascoe, and has the services of D.I. Benitez. That is your field for the 6th race, going a distance of 300 yards.
Jen, all I can say is this 3-year-olds look really, really good on the track. All of them. Is there one that stood out just a little bit more than anyone else?
Yes, there was. You look at a horse sometimes, you look at a field, and a horse looks at you as he goes by, and it looks like a fire-breathing dragon. And that's the 5-horse Sour Candy. I mean, I'd be surprised if this horse, he's going down to 6 to, oh no, he's gone up to 8 to 5. He just looks so powerful and so focused. And look at every horse in the race looks very good. These are the top 3-year-olds. I thought Valiant Chicken Snow looked very well. She looked like she was ready to do some damage. The 9-horse, Damn I'm Relentless. I'm not a big fan of the outside post because sometimes horses tend to break outward. But I'm telling you, Sour Candy just had that look.
There you go. Right from Jennifer's view from the rail here at Ajax Downs, and I want you to enjoy this race. I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and just let me remind you, we're back here next Wednesday, same time, 1:30 post, and we'll see you next week. Good luck with your wagering.
All the horses are now approaching the starting gates. They'll be loading shortly. All the horses have now reached the starting point. It's post time. We have 3 riders in contention for their second win of the afternoon. They are aboard number 1, Snow Moose, number 4, Valiant Chicken Snow, and number 9, Damn I'm Relentless. If they do win this race, you will then be enabled a free Frosty if you have the program and just redeem the voucher at the merchandise booth. The horses are entering the starting gates. Snow Moose is in, Crash on Okie, Katie on Fire, One Fabulous Wave, A Dream to Build a Kiss On, A Shades of Cold. 2 left to load. They are number 4, Valiant Chicken Snow, and number 9, Damn I'm Relentless, in the first running of the QROI Open Derby. They're at the post. Acting up in the gate, number 7, One Fabulous Wave, has unseated jockey Josh Scott. Rider Josh Scott is off. If I can have your attention, ladies and gentlemen, we have a late vet scratch at the gate. Number 7, One Fabulous Wave. Number 7, One Fabulous Wave is a late vet scratch at the gate, and you will be given a full refund. Any tickets wagered on Win Place Show Exactor, Triactor, or Superfecta. If you have number 7, One Fabulous Wave, in a multiple exotic wager, such as the pick 3, pick 4, or pick 5, you will now inherit the post-time favorite. Once again, late vet scratch at the gate, number 7, One Fabulous Wave. All the horses are being backed out. We will have a slight delay before the start of this 6th race. Mutual still open for wagering. The horses are now re-entering the starting gates. First one in, number 6, Katie on Fire. Number 1, Snow Moose is in, the lone gray in this field. Number 2 is Crash on Okie. 8, A Shades of Cold. 3 is A Dream to Build a Kiss On, lone bound of the afternoon for Brandon Boulanger. Number 9 is Damn I'm Relentless. 4 is Valiant Chicken Snow. And the last one to load in the QROI Open Derby, number 5, Sour Candy, trying to remain undefeated lifetime. And they're off. Snow Moose broke the best along the inside. Away second in the center is Sour Candy, split by A Dream to Build a Kiss On and Valiant Chicken Snow. Valiant Chicken Snow, Sour Candy, those two coming at Snow Moose. Who's it going to be? Snow Moose is going to hang on and win the QROOI Derby. Second was Valiant Chicken Snow, and Sour Candy completes the triactor. Race 6 numbers unofficial, 145. The unofficial winner of the QROOI Open Derby is number 1, Snow Moose. In the place photograph, it was number 4, Valiant Chicken Snow, finishing second, with number 5, Sour Candy, finishing third. Fourth was number 9, Damn I'm Relentless. Attention, the objection you see on the Jumbotron is not regarding the top finishers. It is the 8th place finisher against the 7th place finisher. Number 8, Shades of Cold, the 8th place finisher, has lodged a claim of foul against number 6, Katie on Fire, the unofficial 7th place finisher. In the winner's enclosure is your unofficial winner of the QROOI Open Derby. That's Snow Moose, as the stewards are still looking at the objection. However, it will not affect the top 4 finishers. Once this becomes official, you will be able to redeem your program coupon for the free Frosty. Attention, ladies and gentlemen, the claim of foul 6-8 has been disallowed, and also the steward's inquiry regarding the start of the 8-horse, the Shades of Cold. The stewards have ruled that he was given a fair start. It was due to the flipping halter that he broke the way he broke. Therefore, there will be no changes in the order of finish. The 6th race will now become official. The winner is Snow Moose. 3-year-old Gray Gelding by separate interest at a Favorite Pearl by Favorite Cartel. Bred and owned by Milena Fitchin, Snow Moose is trained by Jason Pasco, his 3rd win of the afternoon, and Brian Bell, the winning rider, winning his 2nd race of the afternoon. Snow Moose winning the distance with a time of 15.806 seconds, carrying a speed index of 82. Rechecking from top to bottom, order of finish in your program should read 156, 237, late vet scratch at the gate, 8-4. Those are the total results of the 6th race. We will now take it down to Jennifer with the winning connections of the QROOI Open Derby Championship.
And Snow Moose has won the Open Derby, the first running of the Open Derby for 3-year-olds, $31,725. Congratulations to Milena Fitchin, the owner and breeder of this Ontario-bred Gray Gelding by separate interest, out of her gray mare Favorite Pearl. And we got lots of fans here cheering for the Moose, right, Rach? Yeah. And Jason Pasco, the winning trainer. Big day for Jason and Milena. Big day for this young man beside me here, Brian Bell. Brian, big win on Snow Moose last year. You had to sit out a day, opening day. Snow Moose ran well in the trial. Got another inside post today, and you sort of suggested to me that you were a bit hesitant about that post.
Oh, I was after the first, second races, and they're just digging up the track on the inside, being heavy. And I'm like, oh man, I'm in the stake race. I'm in the 1 hole. What's going to happen? And sure enough, he prevailed. What an awesome horse.
And there was a delay. Obviously, that didn't hurt him, standing in the gate, and then you had to go out of the gate when there was the scratch of one of the favorites, One Fabulous Wave. Didn't bother him at all?
No, actually, I was actually quite surprised because I thought he'd start acting up behind the gate after he backed out, and he was just calm, cool, and collected, and he walked in like an old pro, and then gates open, he was gone.
Well, a 2-year-old last year, and he won that Alex Spica Memorial Futurity on the worst weather day we had all last year. The rain, the slop, and so obviously this horse could be any kind.
Oh, I believe so. You've seen the size of his feet? He has got feet like this on him. He can handle almost anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. What a great day for you and Jason and Milena. Well done, Brian. I'm excited to see Snow Moose, a whole bunch of more races this year.
Oh, I hope so too. Thank you very much to everybody.
All right, Snow Moose. The moose is loose. And that is the end of our card today. What a great stake. Don't forget to read all about the races today. Watch the replays on YouTube. Check the notes. Brian's getting, everybody wants his autograph. Check the notes on the Ajax Downs website. We will see you next Wednesday. First race, post time, 1:30.